Hey, good evening, Chicago. This is your host, Jerry Vasilatos, bringing you another Friday night edition of Chicago Corner. Thanks for joining us tonight. I love our snazzy little intro with our upbeat music, going over the city, hovering over all the beauty and the landscape that is Chicago. We got a lot to unwrap tonight, a lot to cover. Thanks for returning. I also want to give a shout out and a thanks and a congratulations to Kira McCown, who piloted the show on Tuesday. She did a great job. I really enjoyed how she and Kit and Ed covered the news while I was over at the studio shooting our Can TV show. And Kira, if you're watching at the end there, I was laughing out loud with your use of our little bells and whistles here on the dash. Big googly eyes. So anyway, before we go on, I would like to welcome our guest hosts for the evening, Mr. Kit Cabello.
Cheers and salutations, everyone.
And Mr. Edward Heller.
Good evening.
And once again, I forgot to put up, I try so hard to make everything seamless, but we don't want that black Chicago backdrop. There we go. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm feeling quite relieved. First week doing the new segment on how we do Heartlands Media. First half on YouTube and the rest on the Odyssey, Rockfin, Rumble, and Twitch. And at first I learned that it wouldn't work and people wouldn't like it, but I've been pleasantly surprised so far about... Hello, Art. How are you? Thank you for that comment. Thank you so much for that. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I also want to announce I recently made a new change for Heartlands Media on Patreon, $1,500, so that we can use that to build up our network and also contribute to Chicago Corner as well. There's a lot that I want to work on and have that happen. My goal is to build not only Heartlands Media up as a national show, but for Chicago Corner, since I'm also running it and the producer for some of the things. I know, Jerry, you're doing a lot of stuff too behind the scenes as well. But I want us to be ready to cover this election in 2023. And you and Kira and Edward have done a phenomenal job in stepping up and building this channel up. I know there's a lot that, Daniel and I are taking care of for the studio and Hard Lens, but seriously, this channel has so much potential, and I want it to be the pivot. I want this channel at this point in time to be the channel that will change Chicago history. And if that's a big goal, hey, that's a big goal, but I want it to happen.
And I know why you want to do that. Chicago isn't beyond saving. Give me more time. There are good people here.
Anything to defeat my arch nemesis, the Leprechaun.
Speaking of the Leprechaun, I have to bring up our share screen here. Stand by, everybody. Did you guys get the? Roe v. Wade is still in the news, and you know why? Because the Dems are going to keep fundraising off of it. Did you get Lori's fundraising?
Yeah, I got that. God Almighty!
This is my special revised super take on Lori's fundraising. But let's go in here. Let's look at the fine print here. She says these last 2 days have been heavy with the news of the Supreme Court's plans to overturn Roe v. Wade. However, we refuse to sit by and watch the right wing try to deny us our reproductive rights. And in yellow highlighter, she put in this email. This means we could very well also see LGBTQ plus rights crumble away. And of course, got the big donate button at the bottom there. And I added send money now, because despite the fact we know the Dems could codify Roe v. Wade, they don't want to, because it's such a valuable fundraising tool for their rotten, wretched party that's doing nothing, despite the promises they made last election to be different, be better. But what do we expect? There you go.
Well, Jerry, we've had, and by we I mean the Democrats have had decades in order to codify this, and we just have other priorities. My priority, I want at least 2 beans in Millennium Park and as many beans as we can possibly get. But the Democrats, their priority is to get your money. They want your money. They don't want your beans. I want your money for beans. But they want your money. Are they going to get all those things they're promising you? Well, I mean, flip a coin, really. And then hope that that coin doesn't fall down the grate of a sewer or into one of those potholes I haven't patched yet.
Well, you don't want it to go into the sewer or the potholes because she's going to want you all to reserve your change for the slot machines over at the new Triple Bean Casino.
Oh,
that's right. That was what we had discussed. Actually, you're not supposed to know about this. That was a conversation that a completely transparent and open conversation that you were not supposed to know about.
Sure.
Now, Jerry, you must die.
Art in the chat has, why does Lightfoot? She does kind of sound like Vito Corleone.
By the way, I also wanted to say, Miguel H., I just recently promoted you to become a moderator for our channel. So congratulations, Miguel H., on becoming a moderator.
Congratulations, Miguel. It's a position well earned. All right, let's go. Speaking of casinos, boom. All right, let's go into the story as reported by ABC News 7. We've all heard what's going on, but to bring us up to speed. Oh, by the way, I also wanted to mention before we move into the story, since we kind of touched upon the whole Roe v. Wade and the fundraising, Ed and Kit and Kira, you guys did a phenomenal job covering that story on Tuesday. I really enjoyed everybody's commentary on that. So just high fives all around. All right, let's go into the ABC 7 story on the proposed Bally's casino site before we continue to unwrap what's going on with what the mayor is now going to shove down our throats, to enrich her cronies all across the city.
The mayor betting on Bally's, but the city council must also approve, and already battle lines have been drawn.
More than a casino, it's billed as an entertainment district, complete with a hotel, restaurants, and bars, a theater, and music venue.
I want those license plates that are queued up, going to casinos in Indiana to be coming right here.
Of the 3 casino finalists, the mayor says Bally's delivered the strongest financial package, paying the city $40 million up front and pledging $4 million annually. Bally's also reached a deal with the unions.
It means the attendant that parks your car, the dealer at the poker table, the server that brings your drinks, the stagehand that sets up the show in the theater, the engineer who keeps the building running. All those workers will have the chance to earn family-sustaining wages and benefits because of this agreement.
But the proposed site at the former Tribune publishing plant is near a residential area and some distance from an expressway. Bally's has pledged infrastructure improvements, but neighbors worry about traffic and crime.
It's just too much. It's an unreasonable burden to place on the surrounding community.
There's 5 preschools within this area.
Jesus
That's just
Christ.
within this immediate area, blocks away, and there's a playground that they all use.
But
let's get those kids started early with their lunch money.
No, wait, let's traumatize the kids from a guy saying, I blew it all at the casino. I'm broke. Tell the wife and kids they gotta get out of the house. They're gonna take my thumbs away.
With all the desperation in this city, across every neighborhood, during this pandemic, after this pandemic, as sadly we're discovering more strains are breaking out. This is how they're gonna, at the expense of ignoring all the other aid that people throughout the city need. This is their priority. This is your mayor. This is your Democratic leadership in Chicago. I can't blame the Republicans because they're not in a position of power here. Although let's be frank. I think today's brand of Democrats are just Republican light in the way that they absolutely embrace and fillet big business interests to make sure that they have those donors pushing money their way to stay in power. But let's go on with the report.
This is bigger than just a neighborhood. This is about the whole city of Chicago. This is about our fiscal challenges. This is about the future of the city.
But some say the selection smacks of backroom deal-making.
You think?
There were a number of indicators during this process that showed there was some preference towards Bally's.
Also raising concerns, the choice of the Medina Temple in River North for a temporary casino site, a location that has its own traffic and crime challenges.
You're not to approve of your methods.
Yeah? Well, you're not from Chicago.
Yeah, there you go. Mind you, I'm rooting for always for my favorite character in that show, in that movie, Alphonse Capone. Like baseball.
Enthusiasms.
Enthusiasms. I'm a big Jimmy Malone fan myself.
So
Is portrayed by the late Chuck Connors.
He didn't do anything wrong. The government just got him on taxes. What outfit? He wasn't part of no outfit. They didn't prove it. They just got him on taxes. They got him on taxes. He didn't do anything wrong. Alphonse Capone is a saint.
So we all know that Lightfoot's going to ram this through. What I was not aware of is so much until I came across this related article today is the casino's presence within the old Cabrini Green neighborhood. And there was this great article today shared by Tanya Hill at The Tribe regarding Cabrini Green and its displaced residents who should be included in Chicago's casino plans. Now, I don't think that there should be a casino. I personally, Kit, your thoughts? Should we have one or not?
I think it's a bad idea in the city.
Ed?
All right.
If I want to go to a casino, I will go to Las Vegas.
There you go. All right. So now, if this is going to be pushed through, given the displacement of Cabrini Green residents, Tanya Hill presents this in how the casino has basically been built on the ashes of all those displaced Casino Green. Casino Green. They could call it Casino Green given its proximity. Cabrini Green residents. So as reported, the project is expected to generate 3,000 construction jobs annually and 3,000 permanent casino jobs and bring in $400 million a year in gaming and other revenues for the city and state. A city casino signals to the world that our economy is on a strong path towards recovery, ready to develop new and lucrative projects that will benefit.
Is that what it does?
Now, the press conference brimmed with excitement from lawmakers and stakeholders for the possibility of a casino coming to Chicago. The casino's proposed site is a stone's throw away from the former Cabrini Green home's public housing projects. At its peak, the complex, known for its high-rise buildings, was home to at least 15,000 people, predominantly Black and low-income families. In 1999, Daley announced his intention to tear down the high-rise towers. The city pledged to spend more than $1.5 billion over 10 years to demolish 18,000 apartments and build or rehabilitate 25,000 apartments. Despite this pledge, it's impossible to forget the thousands of Black people displaced from that area that, when they lived there, craved the type of financial investment and opportunity that the new casino would bring. Now, let's not kid ourselves. Cabrini Green was sadly a toilet. There was no efforts to make it a living, to create any kind of quality of life for the residents there, right? However, Daley made the pledges. They tore shit down. Nothing happened. Today, the majority of Black residents have been forced out of Cabrini Green. The neighborhood looks radically different, gentrification. It is now scattered with luxury apartments, townhomes, and condos. In the midst of its gentrification, what remains of the legacy of Black people and the housing project are the two-story row houses hidden just north behind Chicago Avenue and Wayman Ames Church Building. The latter was listed for sale as of October of 2021, despite its historic roots in the community. At Thursday's press conference, Alderman Walter Burnett of the 27th Ward spoke about his upbringing in Cabrini Green. He grew up in the row houses on North Cambridge Avenue, about a mile north of the proposed casino site. Burnett supports Lightfoot's casino choice, which would place the new development in his ward. For him, Bally's casino means progress. I wasn't afraid of progress. I wasn't afraid of prosperity when we had to tear down the former Cabrini Green high-rises. I wasn't afraid, Burnett said. The undertones of Burnett's comments today made it seem like the neighborhood's previous residents weren't worthy of the same investment as its successors, or that it was okay to displace people because it brought us to the progress we're seeing today. He acknowledged that the people who live in the community today would not have come to the area when the Cabrini Green high-rises were still there. We helped all of them to prosper in that community and be able to live in the luxuries that they live in now. And that's because we weren't afraid, because we felt like we needed to do what's right and help people progress and have a better place to live, Burnett continued. Now, throughout the casino bidding process, the city required that bidders have minority involvement. For example, the city required that the casino bidders include 26% minority business enterprise participation, 6% female business participation, and businesses from Chicago included in the design and construction of the project. However, Burnett's comments about Cabrini Green call all of that into question. City lawmakers have been making promises to former Cabrini Green residents for years, and many of those promises never came to fruition. Will it maintain its new promises to minorities and women now? What do you guys? You guys, should we bet on it? Should we wager on it?
No. Here's the thing. Look.
Go ahead, Kit.
I'm against prohibition. I'm against this war on drugs and everything else. And look, if people want to gamble their money away,
geez.
Fine. But there are areas in which, again, a casino can work for a city. And Chicago, look, it's just not going to work. I think it's going to cause more headaches, more traffic, more damages, and cause more grief and pain for so many people that are, living in Chicago in this era of desperation, to where, again, people are struggling to make ends meet. People are at risk of being evicted from their homes and apartments. Small businesses are being shut down. In an environment of desperation, a casino will prey on people's minds and fears and think that they could beat the house. Newsflash. Yes, there are stories of people winning big in casinos. You're not one of them. Okay, folks? Me, Edward, Jerry, we're not one of those people. The chances are so minute that you can beat the house. You can't beat the house. Learn from the film Casino, okay? And as a quote-unquote director of food and beverages, trust me on it, the chips are not in your favor.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Is that Lori? We got to do Lori as Darth Vader. Darth Lightfoot. Oh my God, that's got to be a new character. Darth Lightfoot.
Brilliant idea.
I'll get on it.
All right, my brain is in pretzels trying to figure out how Darth Lightfoot would sound.
Well, Ed, she is
have the biggest in Chicago. No.
As comedy treasure.
Jerry, I am your father.
No. Is that because she's got the
Give
biggest
in to the dark side of the casino.
Oh, I also want to make one other comment to you, Ed. On Tuesday's show, I know that you guys were, what was it? There was a story referencing Jean-Baptiste Pointe-Toussaint, and you said I wasn't going to like you guys talking about that. I have no problem with Jean-Baptiste Pointe-Toussaint. I recognize, and I think that he's an amazing historical figure that contributed to the city of Chicago. I have no problem with just mentioning his name, aside from attaching it to Lakeshore Drive. That's my only aspersion, aversion, whatever. So I just wanted to clarify that. I'm not anti John.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that. So, so it's only to do with the named road.
Yeah, renaming the road. Yeah, as I've gone on about ad nauseum, I just think that was a real pandering, virtue signaling call by the aldermen, who should have been spending their time on more important issues within their wards,
like fixing infrastructure and potholes.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm never letting that go. By the way,
I want to say this too about Jean-Baptiste Toussaint. He has been, again, his legacy is that he has helped found the city of Chicago. But the way Chicago is honoring him, I think, is wrong. And the way they did his name for Lakeshore Drive is just, there's better ways in honoring the true founding father of Chicago. And it's far better than having his name attached to Lakeshore Drive. That was just pandering. That was
Lakeshore Drive unites the city from north to south, south to north. It's for everybody. You want to make a statement? Rename Columbus Drive. Get rid of the name of the genocidal maniac whose statue we also tore down. I had no problem if they decided to rename Columbus Drive. I just think grabbing on to Lakeshore Drive to make what I find is like an identity politic, virtue signaling, pandering effort is just what drove me crazy. And guys, I think you guys know me. I think I'm as far left as they come. So I'm not anti-diversity. I'm not anti.
I'll go to bat for your character any day.
Thank you.
And if someone wants to say something, fine. I'll go to bat for you too. That's how I stand for my team, because I love you. That's why.
I do think, however, Jerry, that Bessie the ghost cow.
Back to the story of the day. Let's move.
Bessie the ghost cow, I think, is left of you.
All right.
Just to clarify.
Back to the story, though. Sorry,
not Peg Leg, just Bessie.
Following the displacement of so the question that we all answered, will it maintain its new promises to minorities and women now? And we said, let's take a bet on it. Following the displacement of thousands of Black Cabrini Green residents, Daley also promised 2,500 construction jobs and told them they'd be able to return. A 2021 Better Government Association investigation found that of the 2,500 construction jobs Daley promised to the Cabrini Green residents, how many people do you think received jobs, guys, out of 2,500 promised jobs?
1,000.
0.
40.
40.
Wow, that's not higher than I thought it'd be, but that's low.
Additionally, more than 80% of the families who were promised they could return did not, because they could no longer afford to live in the neighborhood. We were disqualified, relocated, or were simply overwhelmed with bureaucracy, and many died waiting, according to the BGA's investigation. With Black displacement in Cabrini Green came a sudden overflow of financial investment and new developments that weren't made available to its previous residents. It's hard to separate today's casino announcement from Cabrini Green's legacy and what's to come with Bally's casino that was made possible at the expense of displacing Black residents. I think that this ends up being the culmination of what Daley wanted to see in that neighborhood. Get all the Black residents out. Get rid of the affordable, the public housing, bamboozle them, make promises you weren't going to follow so we can gentrify. And now we've got the big casino to bring in more money and line the pockets of the elites, the donors, the cronies.
And Bally's has millions that they're gonna give to the city. Why can't they give millions to the citizens to make the rest of us whole? If they're going to be throwing money at Chicago, the citizens should be benefiting from a better city, not just a better entertainment center in one part of the city.
Yep. With Black displacement in Cabrini Green came a sudden overflow of financial. Oh, I'm sorry, I repeated that paragraph. Out of the 3 casino bids up for consideration, including 78 Chicago and 1 Central, Lightfoot said she selected Bally's proposal over the others because of its commitment to meeting equity goals outlined by the Casino Selection Committee. Bally's is also one of the only operators that did not have a competing casino in the Chicagoland region. She said that Bally's also has a labor peace agreement with organized labor. Now, all of the crony sweetheart deals that are going to be coming with these contracts, that I think you may have had some commentary on that. I think we were talking about it in Slack.
I had a couple thoughts. And obviously, we're not going to be seeing most of those service and hospitality jobs until like 2026. I think they were going to have the temporary casino in that one location might be operating, and they're going to add some casino services to the airport. I think I read, they might have those earlier. But the actual bulk of the jobs that they're going to be creating that aren't construction jobs are not going to happen for another, 3-4 years. I mean, maybe they'll hire them early before opening to start training people, but you're not going to see an immediate return in jobs. So what are they trying to pull over people's eyes right now with that? People need jobs now.
Well, I'll tell you what they're going to pull over as the article continues, what they're promising and what we're going to wait to see happen. The forthcoming casino will commit to 60% minority hiring and will create a jobs program that targets neighborhoods with the highest levels of unemployment and lowest income. I think that's a hollow promise that's not going to come true, given the history of what else happened in that neighborhood with all the displaced Black residents. Additionally, Burnett pointed out that having the Bally's would increase revenue in the city and drive in more visitors, because that's what's important. More visitors downtown, tourism, locking up the TIF funds and not dispersing them across the other neighborhoods as they maybe should have after they tore down Cabrini Green to put up more affordable housing so those residents could return. But maybe we should actually consider the fact that they didn't want these Black residents to return.
No, here's the thing.
Am I being too cynical in that idea?
The whole point of gentrification. No, Jerry, how are you wrong? Because here's the thing, we've seen this story happen over and over again when it comes to gentrification. Either a Chicago public school shut down, which is a true death blow to the community, which causes a lot of the community to be displaced, or we see a industrial facility like an asphalt plant or an industrial smelter be put into the community, causing people to get sick and leave because of toxic fumes or toxic waste that's being put into the water, air, and soil. Or then again, you build a casino there. This is like the three-pronged attack to gentrify a neighborhood and displace people so that the city can move in then, quote unquote, the correct people to move in or richer people to move in.
Correct people. That's the best phrase to use, how they mask what they're really up to.
Yeah. So the thing is, how are you wrong when you hit the nail on the head? That's what's going to happen. They're trying to displace everyone from Cabrini. Okay, they're going to be doing that more. We're seeing that happen in Inglewood. We're seeing that happen in South Austin. We're seeing that happen all over the south side of Chicago and the west side of Chicago. This is a fact. The beating heart of Chicago isn't our buildings. It's not the landmarks. It's not some fancy ritual walkway or area where all the fancy buildings are at or stores are at. The beating heart of Chicago is the generations of families that have lived here for 50, 60, 70, 80 years. What makes Chicago? It's the people that helped build it up from the bottom up. What makes Chicago great is the ancestry of the people that have lived here for decades upon decades. And that identity is being removed away by this heartless administration under the command of Lori Lightfoot, but it's been done under previous other administrations of Daley Jr. and Rahm Emanuel. And so the people of Chicago need to step up, especially for this 2023 election cycle. And look, I know a lot of our audience is from Heartlands Media, and I know this has been repeated a lot over and over again, but I really believe when I say this statement here, this 2023 election cycle will be the most important election in Chicago's history. We got to vote these bastards out. We got to get good people in this city to run. We need to get rid of Mayor Lori Lightfoot. She cannot be reelected. I'll take anyone but Lightfoot. I understand what that means. Yes, voting for the lesser of two evils, but the city has to get good people running and willing to fight for it. And the people have to step up and say no more. And I'm going to say this here too. Chicago is filled with good people. We can make the city great again.
Who would imagine this kind of racism under an LBQT mayor? Chicago isn't beyond saving. Give me more time. There are good people here. Seriously, everything we're talking about, the displacement, the broken promises, and they're doing it again. Oh, yeah, Lori Lightfoot with the broken promises. First, we had broken promises from Mayor Daley. Then we had broken promises from Mayor Emanuel. Now we've got broken promises from Lori. And she'll fucking do it again.
She'll do it again.
All right, let me wrap up some of the other points of the article coming from Burnett. He pointed out that having a Bally's would increase revenue in the city and drive in more visitors. It would be a disservice for us as the government, who have a fiscal responsibility to our citizens, not to allow this casino to be built in our city. Burnett added that it would be irresponsible for the city not to take advantage of the opportunity. Who wants to pay more property taxes? I know I don't. Now they're dangling that this is going to lower property taxes.
No, it isn't.
It's not going to lower a goddamn thing. We believe that Bally's is ready to bet on Chicago. Nice. Yeah, he's got the little. See what he did there?
Oh, correct. I should correct myself. Lower property taxes for whom?
Right. We think this is a wonderful way for Chicago to continue its recovery from COVID-19, said Sue Kim, chairman of Bally's Corporation Board of Directors. Kim added that the project is for underrepresented groups of people that capitalism left behind. This project, he added, will include them. Yeah, when they come and blow what's left of their paycheck after they pay their exorbitant rents, if they even have a place to live, on a slot machine or at the roulette table or at the blackjack table, out of their desperation to grow what little they already have. Really?
Come on down to the Chicago Casino with the all-you-can-eat buffet and the Omicron nickel slots.
The gall. The project is for underrepresented groups of people that capitalism left behind. This project, he added, will include them. We understand how important it is for the other laborers here to work together, build this casino, operate this casino together, and what an opportunity it is for them, Kim said. We understand how for all underrepresented groups that in some ways capitalism has left behind, that this is the project that will include them, and that it will allow them to be a part of the ownership, management, and operations. What kind of a blowjob is this? Blowjob.
I see a weird, dismal future for Chicago where the Bally's Casino becomes not just a hotel, but living quarters for half the city who will basically be employed working there.
Don't do
And
that.
then it's going to be, and then it'll become like the next version of the RoboCop movie series.
I can imagine that.
OCP Bally's.
No, please, for the love of God, no. Because you know what? That actually sounds like it could be a movie, but we could do something more original than do like a RoboCop. Jerry, let's run a script idea about a casino that's now basically everyone who works there has to live there. They're all prisoners to it. And it could be like a satire comedy. I don't know. Only on one condition. I want a director's cameo so that I could be like a drunk guy complaining to the police, like when RoboCop first was revealed. It's like, listen here, I'm the voice of a higher power. I'll keep on being a public nuisance again, pal.
And I'm going to make sure to put you in charge of food and beverages.
Thank you.
But ultimately, you know what I see in our future, guys? If I can get this video queued up properly. This is what I see. This is what I see in our future.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Biff Tannen Museum, dedicated to Hill Valley's number one citizen and America's greatest living folk hero, the one and only
Lori Lightfoot, Rahm Emanuel, Richard Daley. They're going to have statues of them at the casino like this. It's gonna be like Biff World. We're gonna have this dystopian. This is the future of Chicago. It's gonna be this dystopian casino future with OCP running things, with all the money being thrown at the police department and private security across our neighborhoods.
Jerry, here's the thing. If you want to make a script of a dystopian future for Chicago, let's go and run some ideas. But I think we got something here, buddy.
I think we do. No, I think that's actually that would make a great script, a great future Chicago script.
The Triple Bean Casino, the movie.
Oh, there was a comment in the live chat I also wanted to share. I'm sorry, I missed it. Let me go back. Independent Voters Party. Yes. Why not have the Bally Casino across from the Chicago Stock Exchanges? They both offer the same chance to lose all your money. Couldn't have said it better myself, Dominic. JR shares, I believe the casino will end up losing money anyway with the current crisis, prices going up, possible food shortage. This casino will end up closing down. POS Burnett. Yeah. Yep. And it's a TIF district, isn't it? I am not sure. I wouldn't be surprised though. Any comments from you guys? Do you know if it's a TIF district?
I'll take a look, but I would probably say yes.
Because here's the thing. By the way, hold on. I'll be right back because I want to promote something too here. So, guys, continue on up.
You got it. While Ed is searching for that information on the TIF district, I'll continue with the article. We understand how important it is for other laborers here to work together, build this casino, operate this casino together, and what an opportunity it is for them, Kim said. We understand how for all underrepresented groups, I read that. Capitalism is left behind. Blah, 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 blah. We understand all of the promises that this casino allows the city of Chicago to keep and the state of Illinois to keep. We accept and bear those responsibilities. We're going to have to revisit this when the casino is built and see if they are. According to Indigo, let me finish. A black news magazine based in Chicago, Bally's was criticized for how it initially structured minority investment, claiming that after 6 years, investors could sell their shares. That has since changed. According to Indigo, minority investors now can hold on to their investment or sell their ownership position back to Bally's. The project promises that at least 20% of ownership will be women and minorities. So, finally, a special committee will convene on Monday, May 9th to ask Bally's questions about its plan, since this still has to be approved by the city council. Also, Chicago residents will get the opportunity to weigh in on Bally's casino proposal on Thursday, May 12th. The city will host
which is kind of too late, right?
Right.
So they should have done that before.
Or they convene on the 9th.
They narrowed it down. So it's like, I had compared that to the Vogons from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right at the beginning of the movie, when they notified them that the whole planet was going to be demolished to make way for a hyperspace bypass. And why are they complaining about it now? Because the plans have been on file at Alpha Centauri for 60 years. If you can't bother to be involved in local government, I don't know what to tell you. No sympathy for you at all. And I was like, that's Lori Lightfoot.
Pretty much.
She's a Vogon.
Oh, I can't wait.
Vogon.
I can't wait till we get to the end of the show and we enjoy the assessment by comic treasure Tim Dillon on our villainous mayor Lori Lightfoot. That's going to be at the end of the show. We're dedicating the last 15 minutes of the show to enjoy that together, break out the drinks, laugh, comment. She's a true villain in the way that she runs things. I love the way that he put that. The city will host a community engagement event at the UIC Forum, 725 West Roosevelt Road from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's on the 12th. There's a link to register and attend the event that is in the page there, that is also linked below in the show notes.
Following up on the TIF district question.
Yes, please.
From yesterday's Chicago Sun-Times article, they say no tax increment financing district will be created for the corporation. Bally's is footing the bill for all the infrastructure upgrades. So that's rare. We'll see if they change their mind. We'll see if the city council tries to pull something. But we need to pay attention. Anybody hears about them trying to create a new TIF district for the casino, by all means, let Jerry know if we're not catching it. You can email him at jerry@chicagocornertv.com.
Actually,
welcome back,
Jerry at chicagocorner.tv.
Oh, Jerry at chicagocorner.tv.
Look, I found this book after a long time trying to search for it in my house. It's called Chicago is Not Broke. You want to learn about the TIF funds? This is the book to read. Chicago is Not Broke, written by, again, and organized by Tom Tresher. This is not a thick book, but it's so much detail about why we have so much money, why we do have money, and why we are not broke. Chicago is not broke. We got 16 people in here. You want to know why the city's not broke? Look, it's not a big read, but it's worthwhile. Every page is a treasure trove of information. And this is coming from the voice of Kit Cabello, the producer and CEO of Harlan's Media, Chicago Corner, Director of Food and Beverages, live and direct. Look, I cannot recommend, we're not sponsored by it, but I cannot recommend this book enough. Chicago is not broke. Look.
You can probably find that from Tom Tresser's website at tresser.com.
It's also available in Kindle edition on Amazon. And I believe that this book was written and published, it must have been in the middle, if not before the middle of Rahm Emanuel's administration, because I remember I remember when I was working on Amara Enya's campaign, we were referencing this book. And she was, I think that she may have even contributed a chapter to it. But yeah, I can't endorse it highly enough. They're not, Tom has no connection with supporting or sponsoring us here, and this isn't something that needs to be sponsored. It needs to be endorsed because, there was a time when I had a few bucks in my pocket. Of course, it went really quickly, but I was considering buying enough copies to send to every alder person in city council if they hadn't already had a copy themselves. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to follow through on that. But not that I wonder if any of them would actually read it. But we could, you know what? That might be a very, very interesting campaign to undertake. What if, here's a thought. I think this would be very worthwhile to get some attention on what the alder people are or not paying attention to. What if we launched a GoFundMe campaign to raise just enough money to buy enough copies of those books, Tresser's book, and then sent it with an open letter to every member of city council that they had to read it? On behalf of our Hard Lens and Chicago Corner Media viewers, we have crowdfunded enough copies to send to all of you. Read it and report to the citizens of Chicago why you're not implementing these ideas that Mr. Tresser is proposing. And we could continue to bring that up on the show over and over and over again. Hey, they've got copies. The solutions are there. Why aren't they paying attention? We even crowdfunded to get copies in their hands, since, you know, they wouldn't spend the what, 10 or 12 bucks themselves.
I would say
themselves. I think we should do this, Kit.
I would say not only here's the thing, because maybe we should iron out a few more details and we could discuss about it in a private meeting. We can discuss about going further, but we can even bring it up on our Can TV show, like doing like a book reading.
Yes.
And give it to our audience in Chicago Corner for Can TV too. We can
Love it.
Make that happen.
Love it. So in related news to the casino, I'm not going to go through this whole article, but really briefly, what our other representatives are saying about this, as reported by Melody Mercado. They're disappointed but not surprised. Outraged alderman neighbors pledged to lobby against Bally's as Chicago's first casino. As Lightfoot's pick as the Tribune publishing site, the aldermen are accusing her of sidestepping the city's casino committee, tired of these false zero-sum choices that Chicago mayors have been setting up for decades. Now, this was Alderman Brian Hopkins and the River North Residents Association drumming up support to block Mayor Lori Lightfoot's bid to make Bally's and River West the city's first casino. I'm disappointed but not surprised. Hopkins didn't say who's agreed to formally oppose the Bally's site, but he said an announcement would come in the next few days. The casino committee is set to meet Monday, as we previously reported. Going against the mayor isn't something you do lightly. You have to think strategically, Hopkins said. Alderman Brendan Riley, who also strongly opposes the Bally's casino, took to Twitter to express his frustration. He did not respond to requests for further comment. Now, Riley does say we need a casino. We don't necessarily need this casino. Tired of these false zero-sum choices that Chicago mayors have been setting up for decades. Sorry, but take it or leave it is not the hallmark of a deliberative process, Riley tweeted. Riley also said the special casino committee promised more hearings, testimony, and opportunities to ask more tough questions to determine the best final choice. City officials also promised more community meetings before making a final decision, but Lightfoot insisted her decision wasn't the final decision, saying the city council's got to vote. That's a clever use of semantics, Riley tweeted. And
she was using other semantics in that meeting too. She was saying how because you have the evaluation committee, and then you have the select committee, and she's like, it's like, and like I said, she was like the Vogons there. You couldn't bother to attend the evaluation meetings. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm okay. All right, Mayor.
Listening to Chicago residents, not so much. Members of the River North Residents Association, an outspoken group of neighbors who have opposed Bally's since at the beginning, said they're ready to lobby alder people to vote against the proposal. More than 80% of the 2,300 people who have responded to the group's ongoing survey have said they oppose Bally's. We're in lockstep with Riley and Hopkins about the fact that this is an ill-advised project that will not be good for the community, especially given its proximity to the schools and other residential parts of the neighborhood. We hope that we can convince as many members of the city council as necessary to vote this down, said Brian Israel, president of the River North Residents Association. So we'll see what happens on Monday. And if our alder people are actually going to have the stones and swing their big dicks against the mayor and what she wants to shove, how she wants to shove hers down the rest of our throats.
I'm sorry. Look, at this point, look, I am really concerned about who's going to be running, because as we talked about on Tuesday's show with Kira, at first I was saying, like, there's no way Lightfoot can get reelected. But notice, she's running in the election with the amount of scandals she has. You know what that tells me? Rahm Emanuel, the Democratic leadership, state and federal, are giving her the green light. And that her opponents, look, I think right now, who is it? It's Willie Wilson. Edward, help me out here. Who's the other one?
Alderman, what's his name? The fireman. Isn't he running?
Spazzato. Spazzato, is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah. They better run such a strong campaign, because if they're going to be mediocre and lackluster, I'm afraid to say this, but we could see her get reelected, and this city cannot afford a Lightfoot reelection. She is not someone who cares about our city.
Hey, Jack, did somebody say mediocre and lackluster?
Oh, we'll get to him in a little while. We'll get to him in 2 more stories on.
Okay, what was I doing?
This is what we need to see next election, guys. Death of the con, death of the leprechaun.
I'm doing like a one ed campaign to make sure that Lori Lightfoot is not reelected because she can't be bothered to fix potholes.
Well, as I've proposed many times, Ed, I think the way to fill those potholes and solve that problem is to fill them with the older people and the mayor. And people think I'm kidding when I say that. Anyway, am I?
What? Hey, here's how you get rid of the potholes. I'm not going to say anything, but let's say there was a talented group of graffiti artists, or all across the city. There's probably a bunch of talented graffiti artists out there. You don't have to do a stellar art performance, but draw a good old big wang bone all across all the potholes that you could find. Be quick about it. Be sure to draw the head, the shaft, and the 2 balls right there, and there you go. Just I'm not saying do it, graffiti artists. Just kind of, if you see a pothole, kind of point it out with a wang bone right there. And once you get fixed,
or you know what else I think that they should, I think that they would probably get more attention on that pothole is if they decided to decorate it with their interpretation of Mayor Lightfoot's big dick. That would get a lot of attention on it much faster.
Yeah, we need to come up with some text for people to put up on there, like I don't know, Lori's Big Johnson, and just put it all over, the potholes.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to do that, though. Nobody do that.
No, we're not telling you to do it.
Nobody's
But
telling you.
I'm just saying, if all the graffiti artists in
to
Chicago
write Lori's
are listening,
Big Johnson, hashtag Lori's Big Johnson.
If all the graffiti artists in Chicago might be listening one day, someday, I'm not saying do it, but it might be a good idea.
We're not saying do it. It's just a phenomenal, remarkable, fun thing to think about.
Yeah, and by the way, 1,000 imaginary points to the most creative person out there. Maybe, who knows, Jerry? We might do a segment on the most creative art designs out there. You don't have to be too creative, folks. But 1,000 imaginary points. A little bragging points. Like, oh yeah, that one.
Well,
don't admit it, but you did.
Once again, we're not telling you to do this, but it'll be really cool for us to be able to cover that in a future episode of Chicago Corner. So once again, nobody write Lori's Big Johnson on any pothole you see in the city.
I'm making a pledge right here. If anybody decided to do that, we would certainly cover it.
Oh,
gleefully.
Well, it would be newsworthy.
Jerry, as the CEO of Heartlands Media and Chicago Corner and the executive producer of Heartlands Media and Chicago Corner Can TV, that is a direct order that we do that coverage. If it happens. If it happens.
Are you happy now, Kathy? All right, let's go on to our next story. Speaking of desperation in Chicago, oh boy, this came across my.
Did somebody say desperation? Oh no. Okay.
So how about this? This is crazy because a lot of people might not realize that their property taxes are going to be auctioned off thanks to the fine services of our United States Postal Service. Oh boy. I would recommend a lot people across Chicago that have any questions about their property taxes look into this because Cook County plans to sell 37,000 properties with delinquent tax bills. More than 37,000 properties will be part of Cook County's tax sale running from May 12th through May 18th. It's coming up quick. Find out how to avoid the tax sale. This was shared by Lorraine Swanson at Patch. Delinquent property taxes owed on thousands of properties in Chicago and suburban Cook County are about to be sold in the county's annual tax sale. Many Where do you think, guys? Where do you think many of them are located? Think they're maybe in minority communities? You'd be right.
Probably so.
Unfortunately, many residents may be unaware that their property is eligible for the annual tax sale. Talk about pulling the rug out from under you. Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas will conduct the annual sale of delinquent property taxes from May 12th through May 18th. This tax sale is for delinquent property taxes from the tax year 2019, which were due in 2 installments in 2020. Approximately $175.6 million in unpaid 2019 property taxes are overdue on 37,176 properties in Cook County. The properties include homes, businesses, and vacant lands throughout Chicago, 17,709 properties, and Cook County suburbs, 19,467 properties. Less than $1,000 is owed on 19,350 properties. Can you imagine losing your property because you owed a tax bill of less than $1,000? In Illinois, a tax lien auction allows investors to purchase delinquent taxes owed on a property. Investors buy the right to collect the past due property taxes plus interest. For example, investors can earn as much as 18% interest every 6 months, 36%. Investors aren't buying the actual property, but the lien the government places on the property, which may make it difficult for owners to sell or pass the property on to heirs. The Cook County Treasurer's Office sent notices to these owners via certified mail, informing them that their unpaid taxes are to be auctioned, which would put a lien against their properties. However, the U.S. Postal Service has returned nearly 15,000 bills and subsequent notices. Now, I don't know if that's the fault of the Postal Service, or I don't see how it could be the fault of the property owners not accepting the certified mail, because if it's going to the address of the property that the tax is on, we know it's going to the right address. And I wouldn't imagine the property owners have moved, that those 15,000 bills and subsequent notices would be returned. But why aren't they being delivered? Many residents may be unaware that their property is eligible for the tax sale, Pappas said. The majority of the taxes offered are for properties in minority communities. I started Black and Latino Houses Matter to help homeowners find refunds and apply for tax exemptions. Well, that's nice. How to get your property tax off the tax sale list. Now, this is what's important for anybody who might want to check into the status and make sure that they're all up to date. Log into the cookcountytreasurer.com, search for your home or other property by entering your property index number, which can be found on your deed or tax bill. If you can't find your PIN, visit the country. I think they meant county.
County.
Visit the county treasurer's website and enter your property address to find your property's PIN. Pay any delinquent taxes and interest before May 12th. Under Illinois law, the Cook County Treasurer's Office is required to put delinquent taxes, not the property itself, up for auction. Visit the county treasurer's website and click on Avoid the Tax Sale for more information and see if your property is on the tax sale list. That is our very special public service announcement to all of our viewers, to hopefully save them the headache of finding out that their property tax bill was sold to someone who's going to place a lien on their property and make their lives hell.
Do you think people have time to hold a concert at Lake Wazzapamati to save up to raise the money to pay those taxes?
You know what, Ed? That is a good question.
We're on a mission from God.
You got a proper Blues Brothers sequel.
Yeah.
Save the city.
You know, Kathy, I'm going to repeat this comment from Kathy. The developers are jumping for greed joy. Yeah. Because we know how many big real estate companies, monoliths across the country, are just grab those properties so that they can push more of a rental economy. What was the phrase that they were passing around, Kid? I think it was, you'll own nothing and be happy, once all these real estate companies snap up all the prime real estate across the country and basically turn us into a surf economy.
Yes, but that's Canterbury talk, Jerry.
What will become Britannia, which is again a fantasy realm where the royal lords enjoy the bounty of the wealth that's done by 90% of the serfs. They know no freedom or no higher education. They're stuck in their serfdom well. So in the realm of Britannia, everyone is a serf, and the lords enjoy everything.
Dominic asks in the live chat, does this mean that delinquent tax bills...
Britonia is the name. Sorry about that.
Does this mean that delinquent tax bills higher than $1,000 are not eligible for sale? No, I think they're all eligible for sale. But I think that the point was, for such a nominal small amount, people are at risk of falling into this hole. All right. So here, speaking more of the city and the state and our powers that be fucking us all, this is a topic you all know is very near and dear to my heart. Red light cameras are back in the news. Let's run this video from the I-Team at ABC7 to see what's up now. Because ironically, there was a solution to this, to preventing what the I-Team reports on, in place that our administrative law judges in the city of Chicago routinely ignore. And we'll get to that after we run, and I've reported on it. There's a whole segment over on our Chicago Corner channel about this. But let's run the video to see how the city is now fleecing victims of stolen vehicles with red light camera citations.
And Cheryl, the I-Team is finding that the city of Chicago is denying more appeals on red light and speed camera tickets, even after drivers showed proof that their license plates or cars were stolen. Some people paying the fines even when thieves racked up the tickets. They say the city of Chicago is kicking them while they're already down.
I thought to myself, here's the victim. His car got stolen, being victimized again.
Just a double hit. He's actually the victim, but he's being victimized by the city.
All three of these people were first victimized when their cars or license plates were stolen. Then the thieves racked up speeding and red light camera tickets. After contesting the tickets with the city of Chicago and showing evidence of the thefts, the city told all three to still pay up.
I noticed in the photo that they include that it wasn't my car.
Kirsten Gary's plates were stolen. Then she received speed camera tickets. The citations connected to her stolen plate on a different car. She says Chicago police told her,
no big deal. Just send in your police report, the tickets. This will be dismissed.
But it wasn't. Instead, the city added fines when she didn't pay, and Gary now owes $800.
It's sad. He has to pay the price for somebody else's actions.
Karen Canada noticed someone stole her son's license plate.
Started getting all these notices in the mail of red light tickets. 7 in Chicago.
After supplying a police report and not being granted an appeal, they paid some of the tickets because her son was applying for a job with the city.
Tried writing letters, calling the 744 park number, and nobody never responded.
Bob Byrene's car was stolen from inside his Lockport garage.
I came out and I saw this.
Gone. He then got a ticket for a red light camera, which occurred 35 miles from his home in the city of Chicago. Byrene contested with a letter from a Lockport police officer verifying the theft, but he lost.
The administrative judge denied the claim. He said that wasn't sufficient evidence.
By the way,
what?
These administrative judges are not judges. They're flunky lawyers moonlighting for the city to deny anyone contesting a ticket on its face for legitimate reasons as upheld by state and city municipal codes. Go ahead, Kit.
So real quick, I just want to clarify. These people who have to pay, they had their cars stolen, and those speeding tickets were done by people driving their stolen cars. And then number two, did their license plates get removed off those vehicles?
Yes.
So number one, their license plates got removed and put onto another car.
That's what we're going to get to. Okay. But I wanted to make the point about the administrative law judges. They're not judges. They're lawyers that get paid by the city to just ramrod these things through when people actually appeal them or contest them.
Open this rejection letter. What did you think?
I thought, what other options do I have?
Byrene paid the $100 ticket because
I didn't want to get booted when I parked at the airport.
These three people called the I-Team after seeing Kerry Levin's story in March. The city said he had to pay a red light camera ticket despite an appeal with proof that his car was stolen.
Come on, guys.
The city dismissed Levin's ticket after the I-team asked about it. The city's finance department would not talk to me on camera about the latest complaints, but said Irene was found not liable after discovering an error. The finance department went on to say that the other two consumers should be forgiven, but they have to resubmit their documents to the Department of Administrative Hearings because they both contested their tickets after the required 21-day deadline.
Motherfuckers.
All of the people who contacted the I-team say there should not be a deadline in these types of cases.
Of course
the
not.
city also adding people need to be sure to provide a copy of the official police report, not the summary report or just police report.
Because the summary report wouldn't prove that point,
I
right?
believe any documentation of theft should be enough, and Canada's Sun did supply the full official report.
It's very upsetting for me. I mean, I'm trying to raise my son to be a responsible man, and he didn't run all these red lights.
By the way, getting a full police report is a process. You either have to go to police headquarters in person at 35th and Michigan or wait for it to arrive in the mail. As for those in our story who already paid tickets, the city says they must now request a refund online. Cheryl Allen, it looks like they have to jump through even more hoops.
Yes. Okay,
revenue,
guys. So
revenue via bureaucracy.
I'm going to share something with you. See if this loads right. It does. Let's see if it can zoom in. Yeah, that's my Jeep. When you get issued a camera citation, a citation from a camera, from any traffic camera, whether it's red light or speeding, it says up here, plates, state, type, and the vehicle make. Do you notice on this ticket, it identifies my Jeep as other, the vehicle make. Now, the Secretary of State's office, vehicle registration records online, know that my vehicle is a Jeep. They're supposed to identify my vehicle make as a Jeep there, so that when the three eyes at Xerox in Chicago look at these tickets to make sure that they're authentic before they pass them along to the motorists, they can match the license plate to the vehicle make. That's a state and city ordinance. And I know it's a state and city ordinance because 8 years ago, I found that state and city ordinance and I contested two tickets. One right out of the gate that an administrative law judge said, yeah, you're right. This is what the law says. The city's not identifying the make of your vehicle. I'm dismissing this ticket. Second time I appealed it, I contested it on that same claim. The judge didn't grant it, but allowed me to appeal it. I spent $1,000 hiring a lawyer to go to court to appeal it on that claim, and the judge ruled in my favor. So now we have two judges, one in an appeal, establishing precedent that yes, there is a law in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago that clearly says that they are responsible for identifying the make of your vehicle, and if they don't, the ticket is invalid. Now, since I started sharing this way to get your ticket dismissed on Facebook, I have a Facebook page. It was called Beat Your Romcam Ticket. A lot of people caught wind of the fact that these tickets are improperly issued, guys. That's millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue that if somebody sued the state of Illinois, and I think that's there was an attorney that did try to sue, I'm sorry, not the state of Illinois, but the city of Chicago on this. And what did a judge say? Well, no, people can see the make of the vehicle in the photograph, so that's enough to follow the city and state law ordinance that basically dismisses the fact that we have to identify on the ticket itself the make of your vehicle. So y'all following me so far? That way, all the administrative law judges could tell motorists, nope, sorry, we don't really have to identify the make on the ticket. You're liable. Even though that state ordinance and city ordinance are still on the books. So this I-team story clearly shows the importance of why that ordinance is important to link the license plate to the actual vehicle by virtue of identifying the make of the vehicle on that citation. And they don't want to do it. They want us to follow the letter of the law, dot our I's, cross our T's, but they won't do it. I attended hearings. I forgot what her role was, Rebecca Scheinfeld. She worked under Emmanuel. There was a whole hearing on this. And, she clearly stated that, for sake of making sure that all of these tickets are properly issued, we have 3 sets of eyes before we actually send the ticket to somebody, really. And she also said that if those 3 sets of eyes didn't properly look at the details of a ticket before sending it out, then Xerox was responsible and they would be fine. They don't do that. The city doesn't do that because it's easier to collect money from the motorists in the city of Chicago, because the city does not want to follow the state and city ordinance, and because a judge that previously had this case come before her with a class action that I actually established some precedence in. And I think it was Ramanucci and Blandon that did a class action. It was funny. I was a member of that class action, but suddenly I couldn't be a member of the class action because once I spent $1,000 to establish precedent on appeal, I had no damages because the ticket was dismissed. It was on my dime, even though I basically handed them something to prove this. Regardless, the judge decided, no. We can identify the make from the picture. We don't have to identify it up there. But this shows how the fucking system is broken. And these poor motorists who have their vehicle stolen, then somebody puts another license plate on it, then they got to jump through all these fucking hoops, get this report, get that report, when they acknowledge they know that the vehicle is stolen. It just never fucking ends for us. It just never, ever fucking ends.
I beg your pardon. What did you say?
Sorry. Guys, and I also want to share really quickly that if you want to get more details on this, Kit and I talked about this last year when I was talking about, when I was talking about my
experience. Whoa, look at my hair. Look at my face back in the day.
You can find that on our YouTube channel, Corrupt Chicago Traffic Camera Program Ignores State and City Cross-Check Laws, Raking in Millions. I'm going to follow up with the I-Team and share that video because I go into a lot of detail with all the evidence in that video that maybe they can do some kind of a follow-up on the fact that, there's a law in place that's actually supposed to do a cross-check, and they're not doing that, and they're holding all of these motorists whose vehicles have been stolen accountable because we don't want to cross-check the plates with the vehicle make, which is exactly what that ordinance is in place for. It's proven my point. Anyway, guys, any thoughts?
I don't know what else we need to say about the red light cameras, except they should not exist. The rest of Illinois got rid of them, didn't they, right, Jerry?
Yeah, I think the rest of the state of Illinois got rid of them. But this is a pet peeve for me. I'm not advocating to run red lights. And again, I'm not advocating that people speed through zones that should be safe. But the fact is that when you're driving, maybe the ground is slick, you make a judgment call. Are you going to hit the brakes when that light turns yellow? And, they've also programmed the yellows so that they're shorter to issue you a ticket. Or are you going to make a judgment call on a turning at a intersection where you're in traffic and you need to complete the turn before the cameras turn red, or you're a few miles over the limit? Again, this is a gotcha program that rakes in millions. And the fact that they expect the rest of us to follow the letter of the law while they don't is what frosts my ass. So,
rules for me, not for thee.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
All right, on to our next story. We're going to really quickly get through these because I want to get to our leisure time of the show where we can drink and enjoy Tim Dillon roasting Lori Lightfoot. All right, so we kind of reported on this before. I just want to do an update. Yeah, Chicago wants to host the 2024 Democratic National Convention, and it released a video for the nomination. This is reported by Kelly Bauer, Block Club Chicago. We don't have the video to show. I don't want us to suffer through it. But local leaders are making a bid for Chicago to host the next Democratic National Convention. Local Democratic leaders released a website and video Tuesday nominating the city as a potential venue for the 2024 convention, where the party will choose its next presidential nominee. Governor J.B. Pritzker, who's pushed for weeks for Chicago to host the next convention, has said it will be a financial boon that would bring more than $150 million to the area.
Just like the Olympics.
And the casino. The video focuses on some of the city's most famous sites and people. I wonder if that might include all of our indicted aldermen, including the lakefront, the skyline, beloved sports teams, and of course, former President Barack Obama, and is narrated by rapper Common.
I would like, Jerry, if you can, to send me a link to that story private message if you can.
Of course.
Because number two, if that's going to be the case, I can think of two great independent media networks, Harlan's Media, Chicago Corner, covering that, and also doing some segments on Can TV as well.
Done. Sent in the private chat. Also, Ed, I see your comment. My mic level sounds hot. It's probably because I'm yelling and raising my voice, so I'll try to bring it down a little bit. But thanks for the notification on that. Our future is created right here by every single Chicagoan who chooses to see what we can be and achieve, Common says in the video, by the resilience deeply rooted in our history and the strength gained from every single victory, by the vibrant neighborhoods up north, south, east, and west, 77 to be exact, each with unique history, sounds, and tastes. The video also highlights Chicago's history as a democratic stronghold in a more progressive city, where advocates and politicians have pushed for civil rights, a higher minimum wage, and protected reproductive rights. All right, well, yeah, they have, but I just wonder why the video didn't decide to focus on the out of control crime, the murder statistics, show video of all of these neighborhoods that these wonderful Democrats don't want to direct any kind of financial resources or TIF funds or financial reinvestment into.
Or 1968.
Yeah, right.
1968, nothing happened there. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
This is the city that has what it takes. No shortcuts, cut corners. You got to earn what you make. That's big enough, strong enough, important enough to preserve and create our future right here. Mayor Lori Lightfoot also voiced support for bringing the Democratic National Convention to Chicago in 2024, but the city's bid is far from a sure thing. Other cities have until October to be nominated as hosts, and Nashville and Las Vegas have joined the competition. Wow, how quickly can they get that casino up to compete with Las Vegas in attracting the convention? Chicago's been home to dozens of Republican and Democratic conventions throughout its history, but it's been nearly 30 years since the last convention was held here. The most recent Democratic National Convention to be held in Chicago was in '96 at the United Center, where then President Bill Clinton was nominated for re-election. Before that, the city hadn't held a major party's convention since the infamous 1968 event when riots broke out and the National Guard was called in. I can kind of imagine that happening again. Did you guys ever see Tom Cruise's movie Born on the 4th of July?
Yes.
Phenomenal movie. And in that movie, they recreated the Republican convention where Nixon was, I think he was running for re-election. And in recreating that Republican convention, all the cameras and all the newsmen on the floor, making it look like it was this wonderful, flowery, patriotic event. And meanwhile, all of the protesters, anti-war protesters, were getting their heads banged in out on the streets, and Cruz was playing former veteran and Vietnam War veteran, and then protester Ron Kovic. And I just thought, what a parallel for what our media will cover, much like the 1968 convention with the violence out on the streets and what's actually happening with protesters engaging in free speech and their right to protest. Our representatives and leaders who are just completely failing to step up and actually address all the things we're talking about on this show. Let's have a nice, flowery Democratic National Convention. Let's talk about all the beauty of Chicago while all of our COVID relief funds went to paying down our debt and paying for police overtime. While we put up casinos to enrich and enhance political cronies, while displacing black residents across the city. It's just so. I struggle to find words for it. They're operating under the light of day, knowing we can't do anything because they hold all this power. And despite the fact we complain and we try to find solutions, again, I feel a little bit of an existential crisis whenever we report on this stuff.
And they're still playing with the same playbook that they've been playing with for decades. They promise things that sound good on paper, and then even when they manage to muddle through and actually pass some legislation, when the aid actually trickles down to the people, it gets put behind a whole bunch of red tape with means testing or other types of meaningless austerity measures. So when the people need like immediate help, they're not getting it.
Yeah. Yep. Kit, anything from you before we move on?
Well, I don't think there's anything else I could say that hasn't been said. I'm still more stuck on this whole idea of even Democrats humoring again, the Democrats humoring Chicago. I'm just like, one, it's easier for Heartland's media in Chicago to cover, that convention. I do apologize for this. Just,
I hope we can get in, man. I hope we can. Yeah, we got the press credentials. If they do,
no, we do. No,
Yep.
we do. We do have the press credentials. It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna be thinking about this for some time. It's like what that means for us as a channel and Chicago Corner. That's all. So sorry.
All right.
Sorry from I'm just thinking like the bigger picture of what our two channels can do in collaboration.
Oh, that reminds me. Pegleg was bugging me the other day, asking for a press pass. I said, not just for me, but for him and Bessie. And I'm like, dude, you're a ghost. She's a ghost cow. You're going to show proper identification. There's no way you have any because it probably burned down in the barn.
Ed, you've just completely set yourself up because if that convention comes to Chicago and we have press passes, I'm going to make you dress up as Pegleg with a cardboard cow to stand outside the convention.
That's an order. That's an order. Yes.
Intercept and demand accountability from the Democratic politicians that are going in and out of the convention center. I think we're going to make that happen.
Oh, we got to make that happen.
We'll see. We shall see.
Oh, all right. Going on to our next story. This is just a really quick update. Warning coming from Kelly Bauer, Block Club Chicago. And ironically, the only reason I decided to revisit this, the deadly virus of unknown origin has not really gone away as much as we think it has. And I had a friend contact me today. I was supposed to have a brunch with this Sunday, who sadly caught COVID. Luckily, she's not suffering horrible symptoms. She's a strong young woman who's in good health otherwise, but we still got to be careful. So the city just issued, and I was kind of surprised because I know that she's vaxxed. Not that protects everybody, but she's careful. And as we kind of resume this life of things going back to normal, it still isn't. So very quickly, Chicagoans should mask indoors. A city now considered medium risk for COVID, health department advises. The city's health department is strongly recommending people wear masks when indoors in public, including on public transportation. I had to go to a funeral this morning, and I had to kind of like remind myself, I had my mask in the car and I put it on, not because I didn't trust people at the funeral, but it's like, you never know. And I'm going to be visiting my mom for Mother's Day this Sunday. So I wanted to be safe. I know everybody argues, well, masks don't really work, blah, blah, blah. An ounce of prevention is, worth a pound of cure or something? I know that masks are not bulletproof, but again, I prefer to err on the side of caution. So as this story came out and a friend of mine caught COVID, I wanted to quickly share what's going on. City moved from the low to medium risk category Friday due to the significant increase in COVID-19 cases being reported every day. Officials said they expected Chicago to move to this category, and they advised people not to be alarmed. So they're saying people should wear masks when indoors in public in Chicago, including on public transportation, get vaccinated and boosted, yada, yada, yada. You all know the drill. So that is that important update. Lastly, I have been wondering, like, when in the F is this cold weather going to go away? Because I am tired of my gas bill being as insane as it is, having to keep my heat on right into May. Well, everybody, we have some good news. From Block Club Chicago, Chicago to see sunshine temperatures in the 80s by next week. Finally, here's our good news at the end of the show. The city could hit 80 degrees Tuesday, but it'll be colder along the lakefront. Expect more sun after 45 days of gray skies.
Oh, that's some good news, Mr. Vasilatos. I was thinking I'd fire up the Ghost Barbecue this weekend.
And Peg Leg, my arch nemesis.
Will
got an assignment for you, buddy.
Will Bessie be on the menu? Bessie Burgers?
She's kind of mad when I put burgers on for obvious reasons. But since she's a ghost cow and not like a mortal cow anymore, it's not like it really matters that much to her anymore. She's the spirit. That was just the vessel that is now your bacon double cheeseburger.
I want to quickly share something from the live chat from our friend Dominic that is relevant to what we were talking about a moment ago, and make sure everybody sees it. We have no political power because we voluntarily give it up to politicians at every election. Constituent voting can stop this in the future. Yep. Get registered, vote. Our voter turnout is horrendously low in Chicago. We got to make people realize their vote's going to count and get more people out there.
And vote Peg Leg if I manage to get on the ballot. I'm still running through a few hurdles there. They keep saying you're a ghost, you can't run. And I say, says who? There's a whole bunch of ghosts in city council right now, and they don't seem to have a problem getting elected.
The article goes on to say the city's seen largely gray skies during the past 45 days on top of being rainy and unseasonably cool. This April's weather has been very unusual in that it's been so cloudy, Weather Service observer Frank Wachowski told the Tribune. So next week, guys, it's going to get warmer.
Thank goodness.
Going to get out more. Kathy mentioned in the live chat, I believe that they've got a protest going on. I think it's regarding Roe v. Wade. Yes, Kathy? I got an email from you. I got a lot of emails. I quickly scanned over it. They'll be protesting at Federal Plaza at noon. Everybody come on down. Hey, Art, good night. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm hoping Art will be able to join as a guest host again in the future. And once again, Art, condolences on the passing of your mom, whose funeral I attended today. Well, memorial, actually. So it was good to see you there. Wonderful turnout. She was a wonderful woman. Dominic, Jimmy Dore showed evidence in one of his programs that if everyone wears a mask at social gatherings, it is more effective in protection than vaccines. Good to know. All right, guys.
I don't remember him showing that, but okay.
As promised. Wait a minute. I have to get myself prepared for this. Guys, have you got your libations?
Let me pour myself a drink.
Hang on a sec. I gotta go check the fridge, see if there's any chocolate milk left in there.
You're going to need a drink for this. Not that you need to numb yourself, but it will. I think that this is the.
What's better in chocolate milk, Jerry? Whiskey or rum?
Probably rum.
Better not chance it. Let's use both.
I came across this video this past week, and it's a year old. But as I said, I think Tim Dillon is a comedy treasure. And I guess he was in Chicago. And I think for everything that we report on regarding our beloved villainous mayor, Lori Lightfoot, this is going to be a welcome, what do we want to call it? Welcome respite, following how Tim Dillon pegged her last year, along with her wife. See what I did there? Let's watch this video. Now, Ed had advised I cut this down. I might actually trim the tail end of it. There's Peg Leg. But there's just so much to unwrap here in how Tim Dillon shares Lori Lightfoot's Yelp adventure with us that I would feel really remiss in editing any of it. So we'll take it as far as we can until we've gotten all the laughs we need And I can always pause it as well for commentary, but you guys are going to enjoy this if you haven't already seen it. So Tim Dillon's account of Mayor Lori Lightfoot's Yelp adventure.
Welcome to the Tim Dillon Show, audio only out of Chicago. Me and Ben were reading Lori Lightfoot, the mayor, her Yelp profile, which is pretty.
Have you seen this yet, Kit?
No.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Spectacular, as you would imagine it would be. Everything Lori Lightfoot does, everything she wears, every expression she makes or doesn't make, the pitch of her raspy voice, her turn of phrase, her kind of blank look, the stare.
Oh, wait, are we getting a commercial here?
I don't think so.
When she just stares at a reporter. There's nothing about Lori Lightfoot that I don't love. Truly. Yeah, I only want to talk to black reporters, constantly with the race card, constantly with the gay sexuality card, the misogyny card. I mean, I again, a true Batman villain, a true corrupt her feuds with Burger King Ed, the council member, as they fight over a Burger King renovation, her winning in a runoff election against some other idiot. Yeah, whatever.
Soda tax Tony.
This woman is the mayor of Chicago. It's like it's a real city, right? So there's something very interesting about Lori Lightfoot to me. There's something interesting that somebody like her is able to climb the ranks.
She's a clown.
Mayor of Chicago.
A clown that can be controlled by
and
the
you
party.
found her Yelp profile.
Yeah, shout out to the person that sent me this.
From when before she was mayor. So the idea that Lori Lightfoot
This is incredible. What he's going to go into next
is a Yelper is beautiful. The idea that Lori Lightfoot worked in government her whole life, worked on the Police Accountability Task Force. So we know she loves accountability.
Right?
Okay.
Sure she does.
There's something great about her. Now, this is a Yelp review of when she.
So this is from August 2017, and this is a review of a party bus rental place.
Look at that. Look at her profile picture.
So Lightfoot is going out on the town. Is she married at that point?
Yes, because she mentions her wife in this.
So Lightfoot is married, and she's going out on the town. Now, we don't know to what. Do we know?
No, it just says.
Kathy, I don't know if she's still on Yelp after this broke, but she was. This is a true story.
She's using the service VIP limousine, and she gave them 1 star.
She's using the VIP limousine service in Chicago, and she's going out on the town, and she's unhappy with how this played out. Lori Lightfoot, now mayor of Chicago, very unhappy with the service being given to her by VIP limousine. Now, go into this. I want you to read the review, because what's great about this is the company does something that companies rarely do. They rarely do this. They call her out as not only a liar, okay, but an abusive person. And companies usually just write, thanks for the review. We're going to get to the bottom of this. You've seen what companies write. Thank you so much. But this is the reality. This company had enough. They had enough. VIP Limo of Chicago, all due respect, calls Lori Lightfoot out. Now, Ben is going to read this review posted when?
2017.
And here is Lori.
I would never use VIP limo again. Driver Carlos showed up early for our pickup. A good sign, right? Turned out not to.
What's that, Kit?
I will never use VIP limo again.
Yeah.
Driver Carlos showed up early for our pick. A good sign, right? Turned out not to be so, because I have a big dick.
I'm going to read it the way she wrote it. Turned out not be so. Carlos shows
Turned out not be so.
Not me.
Now,
not no me.
Two things is happening. Lori is using the parlance of the streets.
I love how he phrases this. Such flowery descriptions.
Or she's angrily typing, which I think is probably more likely.
Yeah.
Lori is enraged typing this review. So she's not every word might not be, but the general message is going to come through. Continue.
Carlos shows up and wants to use our bathroom. A little strange, but fine. Turns out he pisses in our toilet and does not have the courtesy to put down the toilet seats. Beginning of the end. We were going to the United Center. Carlos clearly has no idea who to get there. He is totally reliant on a whacked GPS system that has him driving
Whacked.
down extremely narrow neighborhood streets, going in a route that made no sense. I had to take over and give him clear directions to get to him. That was totally emasculating to him. The house says, my GPS says I should get off at Division off the expressway when we are going much further south and west. We finally get there, and he says he needs 2 numbers for the return pickup. We had already given the person paying. Oh, wait. We had already given him one from my female spouse. I say I will just give him mine since I'm the person paying. Carlos says, I need one from the gentleman. I am totally confused and question this. Carlos explains to this dumb female that he needs a number from a guy because girls take too many pictures and run down the battery on their phone. My expression must have said something because then he said, trust me, I've been doing this 20 years. I'm a middle-aged woman, not some dumb kid from his misogynistic worldview. I, of course, gave it to him, and his response was the window divider while I was talking. The guy was a complete a-hole. Stupid, terrible driver, and a complete jerk on top of it. Can't believe he is employed, and I would never...
The guy was a complete a-hole. Stupid, terrible driver, and a complete jerk on top of it.
By the way, can you pause it for a second?
Yeah.
Hey, Lightfoot, quit spamming us with your goddamn pornography, okay?
Who would have imagined that having casino in our show title would bring out the porn bots?
Yeah.
I blocked it again.
I think it's Lightfoot spam. Lightfoot, we see what you're doing. Stop.
Oh, yeah, Lori.
There you go.
That's Lori. All right.
Use the service again while he is.
Lori Lightfoot.
Here comes Tim.
Reviewing her trip to the United Center, where she went with her spouse and an unspecified gentleman to some event. Very angry at Carlos, the limo driver.
I love all the pictures they're inserting.
What to do? She got mad at him for traveling down suburban.
Pissed on the toilet.
Pissed on the toilet. Now,
on the toilet. Mark this territory.
Here is the
business owner's response.
The turn.
Yeah,
Well,
Here it comes.
Yeah.
It's a real turn here. Because let us all remember, this woman is in charge of one of the largest cities in America.
Yes.
This is a real turn. This is what they call a reveal.
Yes.
If you're a fan of dramatic terminology. Because we now find out that Lori's character is called into question by the good people, dare I say, good people at VIP Limousine in Chicago. Remember, this opened up with Lori very puzzled about a man showing up to use the bathroom and then pissing all over her seat, which she then called the beginning of the end. Here is the statement from the Chicago VIP limo.
1. Our driver did not use your bathroom. We checked the vehicle cameras and he did not enter your home. You had lots of guests over, and of them could have done what you claim our wonderful driver Carlos did. 2. Our drivers have GPS systems that work with current events and traffic. Chicago often has festivals, and we have to work our way around them. It is not your place to tell him how to do his job.
Yes.
3. Our drivers ask for a gentleman's phone number, actually, because they don't ever want to seem inappropriate asking for a lady's phone number. And you should appreciate...
It's a very fair point. I never considered that.
That Carlos took the time to ask for a backup phone number in case you lose signal or battery. Again, our drivers know what they are doing and have experience. Now here's the final paragraph here. It seems to me the only person here who is sexist, my dear, is you. I don't know where you come to your conclusion that you were emasculating him. Maybe you hoped you were. Your language is horrendous and lewd. Just your rant here make me feel embarrassed for you. Also, wow. That's pretty insulting that you refer to women who like to take a lot of pics at their events as dumb females.
Wow.
He arrived early. He got you on time and safely to your event. Your credit card you provided on the contract was declining. We even let you use a different credit card for payment, which is against our rules. And you received an upgraded vehicle twice the price of what you paid without any upcharge as a free upgrade from our company. Wish I could review customers like you. Find something better to do with your time, and you should appreciate great service when you receive it.
Wow. I mean, you want to talk about the SmackDown. You want to talk about a total and utter embarrassment.
Yeah.
I am just enjoying picturing her face reading that. Her expressionless face reading this, which shuts her down completely. The guy did not leave his car. So this woman made up. She made up.
Yes.
That he went into her house and pissed on her seat. She just made that up. She pulled that out of thin air. If we are to believe these people, which I don't see any reason why not. By the way,
what else?
That's
Jerry.
why they took everything else.
Yeah, let me pause it.
They caught her.
Yeah.
What else is Lori Lightfoot pulling out of thin air in every press conference that she's been at?
Good question, Ed.
Now, folks, again, Chicago's not broke.
I mean, not only is this account hilarious, just on its face that she's a Yelper, but in what it reveals about her character. And her character in just deciding she had a bad night, so she's going to fuck over the driver and make up stories to get him in trouble.
And get him fired.
Yes, because she was somehow personally offended.
Immediately in a lie. So then they go, well, now we're just, because that was one of the harshest responses I have ever seen a company give.
Well, the thing is,
So
wait,
you know
can you
that they
pause me for a second? So here's the thing. There are probably a lot of reasons why the drivers have to have those cameras on and everything else. So probably the company was like, all right, hold on. We're being accused of something.
Yep.
Buddy, who was in charge of this, let's find out what's going on. The thing is, they made that statement, so I'm going to go give the company a benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, they checked their cameras. If that's their company policy, driver can't leave the car. Driver didn't leave the car. Lady, you're freaking lying. We're going to call you out on it. So that means they got stuff to back up their claims if she ever wanted to take them to court.
No, even
And
if
she
it
never,
wasn't.
she never did. And she never did. Nobody's going to, no company's going to post it without knowing they've got the receipts.
Regardless of whether or not, regardless of whether or not the driver's allowed to leave the car, their footage, or at least they claim their video footage, says that he didn't leave the car. So if she lied about that, what else is she lying about to the city of Chicago?
It's a good question to continue unraveling, Ed.
That they are in the right. They are confident that they're 100% in the right. I have never seen a statement from a company delivered with such venom as the correction to Lori Lightfoot's slander. You know who this person is. Like, you know who Lori is. She's, you want to talk about a bureaucrat. You want to talk about somebody who is pushy, rude, demanding, likes calling people out, does not like to be called out, does not like to be responsible for their own behavior, invents versions of interactions that did not happen, as long as the person looks horrible, likes people getting fired, likes people getting shamed, likes people losing money. This is the type of person who we're dealing with, truly. And I couldn't love her more. I couldn't feel more of an affection for this woman and a gratitude that she's on the planet, because my entertainment is so important to me.
Entertainment
is really trite. And yet this is great. Now, yes, if I was someone who lived in one of these places in Chicago that was, suffering from inordinately, and I mean to say inordinately, but high rates of homicide, the city is falling apart. Sure.
Yeah, right.
Not her fault, but she's clearly not helping.
Sure.
I would maybe find it less humorous, but the fact that I don't live anywhere near her and I can just, I don't deal with any of the repercussions from her personal behavior, which is, as we've seen, atrocious. To me,
pause it.
She's
Pause
just a
it,
great
pause it.
person. The ill-fitting.
Go ahead.
Pause here. So here's the thing. He is right. And again, Lightfoot is completely vindictive, which is why I'm going to say again to this audience and everyone who's been subscribed to Chicago Corner, I know a lot of people are burnt out by electoral politics. We cannot afford a Lightfoot re-election. Okay? Anybody but Lightfoot. I do not want this woman to be reelected.
Kid, I'm gonna push back a little bit on that. Not anybody, but just not Lightfoot.
Okay. Well, that's why I felt so compelled to share this video in its entirety, because he just slowly peeling away layers that are not only fun. Look, the best comedy comes from truth, and I think it's hilarious that he's saying he loves her because of her entertainment value. Who can say we don't also kind of love her for that also as much as we detest her? There's such a parallel there in the entertainment value of Lori Lightfoot, but it certainly exposes why she just needs to fucking go.
Cassie, please send those photos. Oh, please send those photos to us. I have to send you some pics of her at a town hall. She hated it. Please do so. I'm literally asking at a kindly. Please. I'm using the magic word, please, with a cherry on top. Send us those photos.
Let's go into the home stretch. This is great.
Suits, the fedoras, the blank stare, the dancing. She's just like on camera dancing with people. She has no conscience, more or less. And that is what I like about her. She will lie about a limo driver and say he pissed in her house to get him fired. No conscience. It is what allows her to dance.
What are you doing?
Shot. Children getting shot in the face. She dances. She has no conscience. She's a true villain. Find a bomb in the wall.
She's a true villain dancing while people are getting shot in the face.
Oh, no. Oh, that is fucked up, Jerry.
The nanny, the rat, the Karen. The person who,
the Karen.
Who tries to, get somebody fired, embarrass somebody. This is who she is. And this is how she runs Chicago. A petty, vindictive chief executive who will not take any blame. But again, a huge fan of her. And I wish her the best, because nothing to me is better than someone who wears baggy pants, like her pants don't fit, and she's standing there. You got to get that photo up of her if you haven't seen her. Yeah. And she's just standing there.
Is that her or the standee?
No, that's her. That's, I think, what the standee was made off
of. Under the heel of the shoe.
Yeah.
She's walking on her feet.
Yes.
They're so long.
Yes. That is what a goon does. That is what a villain does. It is so important as a villain, as a troll. And she is a troll of the highest order. Her lack of care about her appearance is because then she doesn't live. She's living in a
cowboy.
She's living in a world where they're turning the corner.
The leprechaun.
She's living in a world where the limo driver pissed all over her couch. And that world has elected her mayor of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
All right, guys. I had to, like I said, I think it was worth watching in its entirety. He is so dead on in his comedic recounting, but in how that so reveals what she's really all about.
I saw that the clip of her dancing, and Copacabana went through my head, and I'm like, her name is Lori. She's got a thin skin. And then she opened a casino, and I don't know the rest of the words, but then the
Ed, I
chorus,
think you got to work on that.
the chorus is gonna go at the Three Bean Casino. I don't know what the rest of it.
Ed,
we
you're a
gotta work on
genius. Can you get like the instrumental karaoke version of that and create some lyrics? We'll run it.
We'll have to
it
work
might
on
be
it.
safer to run maybe on Can TV exclusively.
That's a great idea too. Ladies and gentlemen, we are premiering on Can TV next week. Kit, do we have a date yet?
I have to reach out again to programming. So Monday I might be able to get a response because yesterday is when I submitted our first episode for Can TV.
Okay. So yeah, when that broadcasts, we're definitely going to share the broadcast date so you can watch it on Channel 21 here in Chicago on Can TV, and we will upload that show to our YouTube channel after the exclusive premiere on Can TV. The point of the Can TV show is not only to broaden our footprint within Chicago, but hopefully draw more viewers to our YouTube channel as we go into the next electoral cycle, disseminating and hopefully interviewing a lot of the candidates running for public office, including maybe some that will be running for the mayor's position or challenging Lori Lightfoot. We shot the show last Tuesday after I joined Kit for the National Hardlands Media Show. Our first guest was activist filmmaker Valerie Goodlow, who does a lot of work here in Chicago with young women at risk that are lured by gang culture. She's also working on a documentary regarding that topic, and we show a pretty good portion of clips from her documentary in the hopes that we can also maybe rally some support for her with her GoFundMe page to raise the funds to continue working on this very, very important piece of work. So I'm looking forward to being able to sharing the broadcast date. I hope you all tune in on Can TV Channel 21, but we will have it up here for those of you that don't have local access cable. Yeah, it was exciting. It was fun to shoot on the Chicago corner set.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have to bring more exclusive stuff to that show to then release on YouTube.
You know what? I'm looking forward towards what excuse me. Excuse me. Oh boy. I'm coughing here. It's on Rona. It's around the Rona. Sorry, folks. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to building up Chicago Corner on Can TV. Cassie Powers, to your question, it is a public access channel on television, Channel 21 Can TV. You can learn more about Heartland's Media Chicago Corner programming on Can TV. You can go to the website, Can TV, CAN TV. Just, it's Chicago Access Network.
cantv.org.
Yeah, cantv.org. Thank you, Edward. But there we go. You could see it, and it's that way we can see all our programming. Can TV recently did a 2-minute clip promoting me covering Aaron Mate, talking about the need to fight for free speech, which is fundamentally important to our democracy. So be sure to check all that stuff out. I'm really excited about all the potentials for Can TV, and Chicago Corner is now our second show that we are producing. And I am the executive producer and director of food and beverages as well.
Kathy's asking in the chat, when are we going to Bernie Sanders our live chatters? I don't understand what that means to answer that question, Kathy. What do you mean?
I think if I'm reading that correctly, she thinks that because you're doing a Can TV show, that we're abandoning the live chatters on YouTube. I don't think that's what's really happening here.
No.
We're expanding our reach to people who don't normally watch us on the internet.
Yeah,
I don't think this I don't know what our future is on YouTube, but as far as streaming goes, I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon.
No, we're not changing anything. If anything, look, if YouTube ever clamps down on Chicago Corner, we will set up a Chicago Corner, Rockfin, Odyssey, Rumble page as well. That will continue to go on. I also want to point out as well that for Can TV, the reason why we're also putting Chicago Corner and Heartlands Media on Can TV as well it is to build up our credibility as an independent media network. We do have press passes by the state of Illinois, City of Chicago, and Cook County. Jerry has that. I have that. Lainey Peterson has it. Faze, and so does Daniel Lupker as well. We all have our press passes. But again, if YouTube starts clamping down on us, we can add to our credentials. Look, not only do we have a radio show, but we also have a TV presence as well. So it's just one more fight that we have, or piece of ammunition that we have to keep us still on YouTube, because it is getting worse up there. So Cassie, the Harlan's Media, Can TV, and Chicago Corner and Can TV are building us up so that we can, again, have just more credibility too.
Yeah, Kathy, we're not going anywhere. Sarah will continue to host the Tuesday night live stream.
It's just more content.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
additional
We'll
content.
do she does the Tuesday night live stream. I'm over at the studio with Kit doing the Hard Lens Media National show, where it's a live stream where people can chat. I pre-record a Can TV show that is pre-recorded. You can't have live chatters on TV. So that's pre-recorded. It then broadcasts what we record 1 week. We'll then broadcast a week later on Can TV. But then I'm back here on Fridays doing live streams, and we'll continue the live chat. So this isn't changing anything. It's just added. It's added programming. And if you want to comment on what we're covering in the Can TV show, once we port it over to YouTube, that's what the comment section is for below. I love reading comments.
And then also with these interviews that we do put on Can TV, they then become like YouTube premieres, so they kind of are live, and you can join in the conversation there too with our moderators.
That's a good idea. What I'll do is I'll program the release. I hadn't thought about that, Kit. I will program the Can TV drops on YouTube as a live premiere, so that there will be a live chat, even though we're not live. You can still comment throughout that broadcast on what you're watching to make points at certain moments in that interview or broadcast.
Yeah. So there we go.
And there could also be a possibility that elements from the Can TV show may be shown during a live stream, so we can talk briefly about some of those topics from time to time as well.
Exactly. So there we go. We want to make sure, again, in this day and age, with censorship, Chicago Corner and Harlan's Media have to be adaptable. TV, radio, and yes, internet, but also being on different video platforms as well. We are pushing forward, and yes, we will post them.
Yes, we are going to post them.
Here's the thing. Anything with Can TV, Cassie, they're going to have to get back to me. So I'm going to find out Monday when that stuff premieres.
Yeah.
So I will. The first person that's going to know about it is going to be Jerry, who will then relay that information then to Edward and the rest of the people. Like, hey, here's when we are going to YouTube premiere this video. And then if you're subscribed to us here on our YouTube channel, you'll get notified of when that YouTube premiere happens for Chicago Corner.
Never fear, Kathy. We got you covered. You're getting more programming is what it is. Even if you don't have Can TV to watch it on cable, you'll be able to see it on YouTube and comment and chat there.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Kathy. What are we always doing here? Is there any doubt, Kathy, that we're not here fighting for you guys as well as live chatters?
Yep, always. We will always fight. All right, gentlemen. I think we had ourselves a great show.
We did.
Shout out to our outstanding audience as always.
Anything else you want to share before we depart? I think we pretty much covered everything.
Potholes.
Pretty much, what I want to add is potholes. What I want to add into our audience is that number one, Harlan's Media, we're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. First half of the show's on YouTube. The rest of it goes on Odyssey and Rockfin. We'll be covering more controversial stories there on those video platforms because we don't have to worry about the YouTube censorship. Please consider being a patron supporter to Harlan's Media. Our goal is to get to $1,500 so that we can maintain our channel, but also contribute them to Chicago Corner as well, and all the work that we are trying to build here for the studio and so much more. Again, look, there's a lot I want to do here for the network, and by being a patron supporter for Harlan's Media, you're making that possible. So again, thank you so much. Jerry, as always, you're a great captain for Chicago Corner. Edward, you're a great moderator and commentator. And then shout out also to Kira McCown, who's also becoming a commentator for Chicago Corner. I cannot thank you all so much for your support. So there you go.
Remember, Lori's begun her fundraising on the back of Roe v. Wade.
Is that me gold?
What the hell are you?
I'm a leprechaun, me dear.
Here, this is what you're looking for, right?
There you go, everybody. All right, listen, Kit, Ed, thanks. Oh, Ed, you had to add something?
If you would like to have some fantastic merchandise from Chicago Corner and Hardlands Media, check out the Redbubble site in the link in the show notes below. You too can have flavor-improving mugs, the mugs that improve flavor.
Whoa! Awesome, man. From all of us here at Chicago Corner, as well as Oreo, I want to thank Kit and Ed for joining me tonight. And remember, everybody, as we go into the weekend, please make sure that you stay safe. Watch out for each other. Be vigilant. And remember, always, if it's happening on the streets, you'll hear about it here on Chicago Corner. Please stay safe, everyone. Return on Tuesday when Kira will be returning to handle our Tuesday night live stream. And thanks for joining us tonight. Stay safe, everybody.